Hey everybody, welcome to another video on the Stolz Farm YouTube channel. If you've been paying attention to the videos, we started soybean harvest about a week ago or so. Posted a video a couple days back about starting soybean harvest. That was maybe day 3 of soybean harvest. We've been kind of chipping away at some fields. We have a lot of soybeans this year. I think it's somewhere in the 400-500 acre range, somewhere in there. That's a guess off the top of my head, but it's something around that. And we're working through the early stuff. There is some stuff that's still too green, and that's obviously gonna need to wait until, you know, next week, mid next week, or maybe late next week. We did have something slow down our progress, which if you watched the video last week, you probably saw the hint or the preview at that, and then I probably very likely showed the clips at the beginning of this video as well. We had a combine fire, and we're kind of going to start out today's video with story time about that. Stay tuned. Let's get started. Before we start story time, we're gonna head down here to where the 8770 is parked and go start it up so we can start warming up our tractor, and then we'll kind of talk about how last evening went. I didn't have the camera with me. Of course, something crazy happens. I don't have my camera, but I did have my phone camera, which is where we got some of the clips that I showed you. Quite the ordeal. I don't think I would have filmed anyways. That probably wasn't what was gonna be right on my mind, is talking to the camera, but the two things right next to each other. We'll go across the road, start the tractor up, run across the road. I'll show you guys the 9770, which is the combine I was actually in the last video. Let's start the tractor up first and go from there. We'll start our story here next to the tractor, because yesterday I was chisel plowing with the 8770 here, and I was chisel plowing over there up on the top of that hill. If you can see that, there's some telephone poles going up there, and I was on the other side of that hill doing some chisel plowing. Got a call from my dad. He sounded distressed and told me to come over right away because he had a combine fire going on. And when he said that, I kind of thought, oh shoot, he has to get the fire extinguisher out. He is working at putting it out. You know, maybe a fire in the engine or something like that. I came over the crest of that hill and saw bellowing black smoke coming up and huge flames. And I could see that all the way from whatever I was, a quarter, half mile away. So I usually cultivate in B3, sometimes C2, that gear. And I was going road gear, D3, D4, all the way over to the combine because he was burning up in the middle of the soybean field. And you know, save the combine, maybe not. Save the soybean field, definitely. We were able to dig and cultivate around a little bit and try to save some of the beans. This is the field that he was in, actually, just kind of starting it. And apparently what happened was just the dry conditions, soybean dust, chaff, and something getting hot in the combine caused it to spark and light on fire. He smelled the smell of fuel in the cab, his steering went out, and then he went back to check, and it was already too late for the combine, and essentially was a goner. 9770 looks a lot different than it did in the last video when we were driving it. I'm right next to it, and I'll show you kind of what the aftermath is of that. So I'm pretty sure once a combine fire starts, there's not really much stopping it and controlling it when it's as big as it was in those clips that I put on. Header was still attached, so that got ruined. And I'll roll down the window, you guys maybe see a little bit better. Still smoldering, and I'd say that doesn't look very good. She burned up completely. I don't know if it's super approved to go up in there, but we're gonna go try it for the sake of the video. At least look in the hopper and see if it's still going. So this is kind of what a burned up combine looks like up close anyways. This was about 3/4 full of soybeans, so those things are still burning up inside, and the fire department was out here spraying foam on it, water on it, trying to get some of it out. Tires are exploding. Quite a whole thing. we're gonna go up it and see what there is to see. So, cab full of soybeans. Guessing the windows burst from the heat and everything. Broken glass on it, and burning soybeans, which is smoking at me here. Still some in the hopper. Obviously this thing's milk toast. Total loss on the combine is what they're saying. You know, a bunch of engine pieces back here, some carnage up there, melted auger. Whole side of the combine where you've seen me climb up and fuel it up and blow out the air filters and stuff. That's all collapsed over here because of this rim breaking down. Whole machine down on the ground over here. Even the concaves we put in, sitting strong in there still, but looking a little bit different color than they did just about a week or two ago. So yeah, that is obviously a total loss. We got this combine, 9770, back in August 2023, so it's been about a year and 2 months. Just had a lot of work to it done as well, actually, as far as some header calibration, control panel type issues that kind of came up during wheat harvest, and it's gone now. So that can happen. And I mean, this is our first combine fire. It's the first one I've seen close. Obviously they do happen quite frequently to people. You know, luckily everyone's safe. That's what matters. My dad got out of it, and then, you know, you just kind of got to go through the whole insurance process at that point, and, you know, hopefully get a combine out here pretty soon, even if it's just a rental, to finish harvest, because we still have quite a bit of soybeans to do. At least another week and a half of full-on harvesting with the 9760 and whatever we rent or replace this combine with. Quite a day, especially for my dad, because he was the one in the combine and obviously was the one that bought the combine. And then, you know, a big day for everyone else as well. The neighbors, fire department, thank you to all of them for stepping in and, you know, helping and doing things and being concerned about well-being and safety first. That's always a good thing. It's not an easy thing, but it is just a thing, and you know, it can be replaced. It is a real bummer, but I guess, like I said, it does happen. Welcome back to the video. We have the Kenworth truck unloading here, and I'm kind of supervising it, unloading 2 semis of soybeans. Then we're actually gonna go out and chisel plow a little bit more. We do have a combine here to replace the burned up one that you saw in the last clip or two. We have a S770 out here at the farm, which is a rental for now, and we're going to, you know, give that a test run, kind of use it for the rest of soybean harvest. I think is how it's gonna work out for the rental, and we'll get into that in the next video. But we do have the rental. Soybean harvest is gonna continue on even with the burned up combine, and I'm going to keep it going by unloading these trucks first. Make sure we have, you know, an empty cart, 2 empty semis, and then we're gonna go at it with 1 combine today, finishing up some of the soybeans that are ready. We probably have 250, 300 acres left of soybeans, and that's all it's gonna be for harvest 2024. Not too bad, maybe a week of combining left is it. And we're gonna continue that today. It's Sunday, October 6th. Soybean harvest continues. RIP 9770.